The plans are finalized. The doors are open. And a family that spent 60 years sharing their music with the world is now sharing the most private thing of all, their goodbye. Alan Ralph Osmond, 76, passed away at his home surrounded by loved ones on April 20, 2026. He would most want to be remembered for his testimony of his Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, and for his love for his sweetheart, Suzanne, and his 8 sons and their families. And now the farewell has been officially finalized, every detail confirmed, every door opened or closed with specific, deliberate intention. All services will be held at the Orem Suncrest Stake Center at 95 North 600 West in Orem, Utah. The viewing will be held on Friday, May 1 from 6:00 p.m. to 8:00 p.m. A second viewing will take place Saturday, May 2 from 10:00 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. The funeral service follows immediately at 12:00 p.m. on Saturday. The services will also be live-streamed on the funeral home's page. 2 viewings, a public funeral, and a live stream, so that the fans who grew up watching the Osmonds on television, who wore out their copies of Crazy Horses and Puppy Love, who remember exactly where they were the first time they saw Donnie and Marie on their screen, can say goodbye from wherever they are in the world. Because the Osmond family has always understood that their audience is not a crowd in a room. It is a global community of people who feel genuinely connected to them. And even in the deepest grief, they made room for that community. But then comes the detail that changes the texture of the entire service. Alan Osmond will be buried at a family-only service. The public is invited to the viewing. The public is invited to the funeral. The live stream ensures that even the most distant fan can participate in the farewell. But the burial, the final, most intimate act of returning someone to the earth, belongs only to the people who loved him in the private rooms of his life. His wife Suzanne, who stood beside him through 40 years of MS and described their temple service years as the best of their lives. His 8 sons, Michael, Nathan, Doug, David, Scott, John, Alex, and Tyler. His 30 grandchildren. His 5 great-grandchildren. His siblings, Verl, Tom, Mariel, Jay, Donnie, Marie, and Jimmy. That circle, and no one else. The guest list for the public services is, in the most literal sense, everyone. Because the Osmond family did not build a velvet rope around Alan's farewell. They opened it. They said, "Come, pay your respects, sign the guest book, stand in a line in Utah and take a moment to acknowledge a man who spent his entire life giving everything he had to the music, the family, and the faith that defined him." The family's statement read, "The family wishes to extend their gratitude for the compassionate efforts of the Orem Suncrest Stake of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, Walker Sanderson Funeral Home, the media, and the many friends and loyal fans of Alan Osmond. Please honor their privacy during this very tender time." Loyal fans. They specifically named loyal fans in their statement of gratitude, because Alan Osmond understood better than almost anyone in the history of American pop music that the people in the seats were not strangers. They were partners in something real. While Donnie and Marie often stood in the brightest spotlights, Alan was the engine that made the Osmond machine run. As the founding member of the Osmond brothers, he transformed a local barbershop quartet into a global phenomenon that once outsold Elvis and the Beatles in a single year. The engine. That word keeps appearing in every tribute, in every statement from every sibling, because that is the most accurate description of who Alan Osmond was, not the face, not the voice the world knew best, but the force that made everything else possible. In lieu of flowers, please consider a donation to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints Missionary Fund. Even in his final arrangements, the gesture points outward, not toward memorials or monuments, toward sending more people out into the world to do something that matters. He lived with a one-step philosophy, choosing joy and faith over bitterness, even as the disease took a physical toll. One step at a time. through 40 years of MS, through the loss of his brother Wayne, through every challenge the road threw at a man who started singing to raise money for hearing aids and ended up producing one of the most successful entertainment families in history. One step always forward, always faithful, always moving. Rest well, Alan. June 22, 1949, April 20, 2026. The engine has rested, but the music keeps running. Thank you for watching.